All right, hey, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All right, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, peace and much love, honors, and blessed salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which hold the kind of composure and integrity. All right, this is Brother Yaakov Wall. Just want to make to the point, like it says, what is gradualism and how is it being used in this time? Okay. Which I want to go ahead and get right into it. But when you look at the word gradualism, all right, you can go on google.com, type up define gradualism, and it says it is a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. So, you know, to gradually do something, man, it means that it's taking place or progressing slowly with degrees or by degrees. All right, it's measured out. All right, you know, a good example, the cell phone, when it first started coming around. Actually, I was in high school. I think I was in 9th grade when they started trying to kick them up, man. They started with the Motorola phones, all right, what do you call them, the razors. You know, it was all about, you know, who had the skinniest, sleekest phone, you know. And then they started bringing out more models of cell phones. It became, you know, the LGs, you know. Then it became, you know, then they started having the companies, the AT&T, the T-Mobile, Verizon, and all that. You used to be able to actually buy a phone with no plan. If you wanted to buy the phone and just go to another provider, you could buy the phone, and that would be, and it would be all gravy. But today, man, they include, you know, these credit checks. You got to have you know, you could put the sales tax down to get it down to finance it. You know, I mean, but you could still, you know, because you're getting newer technology. But that's a form of gradualism, okay? And so how is it going to be used in the times that are approaching? Well, first of all, you got to understand that gradualism, especially in this time in Esau's kingdom, all right, is a man, it's not something that's going to wait for you, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing out gradualism is because ultimately this gradualism, you know, type of tactic is going to usher in the RFID chip. Okay, I'm just gonna go raw, man, because this counts new, so I can say a few things a couple of times, get a couple strikes. All right, but you know, still being wise, man, you know. But I mean, that's what it's all about. The end game, okay, it's not cryptocurrency, it's not digital currency. All right, the end game is the RFID chip. Okay, which is a radio frequency identification chip that's going to track and control and limit how you interact and move in society. All right, because what they're doing with the central banking digital currency that they're trying to bring in, which some are saying it's going to come in by the beginning of July. Others are saying that the CBDC is going to be made on August 1st. But I mean, it's regardless, it's coming. And these weren't talks that were just, you know, that have been just talked up right now, and you know, let's bring it out. These are things that have been counseled about for decades, all right, for years. Okay, now let me read this real quick. Revelation 13:16 again. It says, and he calls it all right. Who's causing what? The so-called white man, the elites, were really of the elite banking family that controls the money, that controls the system of America. Okay. They're causing what? Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the foreheads. So you got to look at certain words, man. He caused it. To cause means to program and prepare something or prepare someone's mind. Okay, that's gradualism. Okay, you know, you slowly measure it out, and you basically precondition someone by the technology you're pushing out, by the panels, the news. You know, you constantly make the message about whatever it is that you're nearing or getting ready to implement. Okay, so I wanted to go back though to the word gradualism, because there was a certain word right here. Gradualism is a policy, and I've been bringing this out lately, man, that the word policy goes back to cunning. Okay, and who is the only one who has policies? Okay, the so-called white man. And I was going to bring out in Daniel. I'll go ahead and bring it out. Daniel, the 8th chapter. Is it Daniel, the 8th chapter? Salaka, let me find it real quick. Hold on. It's in Daniel 8. It's talking about Antiochus Epiphany. Now, the reason why I'm using Antiochus Epiphany is because you got what's called precursor or precursor events or precursors. And when you look at what a precursor is, it's basically past behavior. It's past behavior or an example to, you know, the nature of something. All right. So Antiochus Epiphany is a precursor. He was really an example to show you what Esau was really going to intend to do in the end with his anger. Because again, in Antiochus Epiphany, the madman, man, he was ruthless with Israel and he was ruthless to the world. Okay. He did things as a true Edomite. The way that he destroyed, the way that he forced the decrees that he put upon the land. All right, you know, the whole Hellenization period, that where he put out a proclamation or a decree upon the land that everyone was to convert basically to his religion, and that was the period of Hellenization with, you know, Israel. All right, which is where we put off our customs and laws, and we kept their laws and their customs and worshiped their gods. All right, but at first it wasn't just, hey, you know, send these letters out. Have them do their little thing, man. You know, have them bow down. You know, you had resistance. All right, you had rebellion. Well, not even. I'm not going to call it rebellion. All right, if you don't worship Esau and his gods and his images and things of that nature to this time, it's not rebellion, man. It's doing what's right. So, but back then too, you know, with these Edomites ruling under the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, you had certain of Israel that was not bowing down. All right, because we're not supposed to. The scriptures say, man, it's better to obey God than man. All right, we were keeping the ways of the Lord, but you had a period of time. You can find it in the book of First Maccabees, where Antiochus was really the one to push Hellenization. All right, and you know what? Let me actually, you know what? Let me read this, and I'm gonna actually go to it. This is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 24. It says, "And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper," because the way that, again, man, there was never a man on the planet Earth who had so much power to live in a wicked way. All right. This man Esau has been thriving off of the destruction and chaos and disorder that he's created. Okay. That's what it means to destroy wonderfully, because it's a wonder even to, you know, allow how the Lord could allow someone like that to be as ruthless and cruel that he's being, all right, and as deceitful as he's being, that he's still here. Okay, so it says again, "And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people," just like you got going on today. Esau practicing. All right, and he's prospering off of what he practices. All right, you know, they've got what's called think tanks, Edomite devils hired specifically to think of ways to snare and catch up the people, but mainly Jake. Different ways that they can, you know, come at Israel and keep them as slaves. Which Esau's pretty much done his job, because hey, the war, the great war of ignorance, is what, you know, is the dominant factor in America, man. All right, ignorance is at an all-time high, to the point where, you know, a God is not even equated, you know, to what, you know, what's going on around here. Okay, so it says, "And they shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty, and the holy people." It says, "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand." All right, whatever weapon he formed to destroy Israel would work. Whatever decree he puts out, it's going to work. All right, so again, when you look into that word policy, Lord willing, I can get it. Lord willing, it'll actually show me. The word policy goes to discretion, knowledge, sense, understanding. Okay. Right here, when you click on the outline of biblical usage, it says the same thing: prudence, insight, understanding. At the very bad, it's like at the very bottom, cunning, craft. So he's gonna. The craft is the policy. It says cunning, craft in the bad sense, and the word cunning goes back to being skillfully deceptive. Okay, so this man's policies are skillfully deceptive. So what we got going on right now through the period of, through gradualism with this deception is that it's going to be a more convenient and comfortable way of making transaction and buying or selling products. You got today Cash App, all right, PayPal credit, Amazon, all these, and if you notice, all these major sites like Amazon, you got PayPal, Etsy, shit, what else, man? eBay, they're all accepting digital forms of buying now. All right, it used to be where you'd send a payment. What was it? Western Union. You'd make a wire transaction. Okay, even on eBay, man, it used to be you could actually say. I mean, you still can. This is the thing. This is the deception of gradualism, man. You're still able to do it right now. So people are like, well, no, you can still do it. So it can't be that they're not leaning more towards central bank and digital currency. You can still use cash. Well, you got other establishments that they don't allow 50s anymore. They don't allow hundreds. They want it to be exact change if you pay in cash. Okay. But it's just because gradualism doesn't, directly come at the certain angle that people expect it to come. People are thinking that central bank and digital currency is just going to be wham, here it is, no other choice. No, that's not how it works. Gradualism is a reform change through measures. Hey man, a brother had seen a movie, and I don't remember the name of this movie. It's an old movie. Like, I think it was made in like the 50s or 60s. But there's this movie out there with someone in the corner in the background on a cell phone in the 50s. In the 50s. All right? So to say that the cell phones wasn't an idea already thought about, long ago, hey, that's silly. And now correlating it to the financial system right now, which is the flavor of the week, what's really going on. You've been seeing these banks shut down, all right? But they're not being bought back or even bought out. But who's to say that the central bank and digital currency is not going to be the method they're going to use? Like, you know what? It failed through cash. We couldn't give the depositors money back. So we're going to do it this way, through a computer system. All I got to do, how much were you missing, sir? How much were you missing, Kenneth? 1,400 here, 1400, enter. Your money's back. There you go. You got access. That's what it's going to be about. More or convenience. Because like the brother, in the camp had made a comment about on the live we did the other day in class, using cash today now is somewhat frustrating. Because if you don't have the exact change, $14.73, you're not going to be able to you can't use cash. That was the whole thing with the C to the O to the V to the I to the D to the 19. All right. They were because they were laying claim that handling the cash would spread the virus and all that. So, I mean, like I said, there's many angles that this CBDC is coming to or coming from, but it's not the exact angle you people are looking for. Therefore, you're not believing. All right. So that's what the policies are, man. See, there's never been so much talk about central bank and digital currency ever. All right. It was an idea, right? People were having these panel meetings and summit meetings and talk shows and podcasts about, well, if they do usher it in, if it does become a thing, it would be easy, kind of trying to amp it up. All right. It's the same thing they did, man, on Jekyll Island. All right, brothers were bringing that out this past weekend. Look up Jekyll Island, Jekyll Island, over there in Georgia. All right, off the coast of Georgia. Okay, it was an island which really is for the elites. All right, there was this place that they went to, and it said it was like 6 members, 6 concerned Edomite citizens. All right. But what they did during, was it 1910 at Jekyll Island, Georgia, they had a meeting to discuss, and ultimately they created the Federal Reserve. Okay. You can look this up. About 20 years later, all right, accusations about this meeting were being brought out. Up until that time, all allegations or claims that there was a meeting to discuss the creation of the Federal Reserve was all denied. Up until the 20s, and then ultimately to the 30s. It wasn't until the 1930s where the meeting at Jekyll Island was revealed that really took place. It was denied by these men that they ever had a meeting. But when you look into what happened on Jekyll Island, it'll tell you that it was a secret meeting. Okay? Because even on the panel meeting that I had bros watch the other day, which let me see if I can even remember. Let me see if I can even find it. I can't even click lower. I can get it. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. There was a panel meeting a panel discussion. Is that it? Nope. About the central bank and digital currency. Okay. But even in there, they talked about how these meetings about reform, financial reform, and always trying to fix the economy or climate change or whatever. Even of Esau's own person, he made the comment. A lot of these meetings occur in the shadows. All right. What does the scripture talk about Esau, man? Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel. All right, whose works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us? They have these secret fucking meetings, man. All right, where the public doesn't know, but if the public does know, there's always some distracting event to keep your attention elsewhere. But they have these meetings. They have them in the daylight now. Hey, Micah 2. All right, they practice them during the day because it is in the power of their hand. But they had these secret meetings that they had on Jekyll Island to discuss their intentions. See, okay, well, Salakia, let me get this and then I'm going to go back to the point that I'm making. The video I had bros watch this past class was called, Salakia, it was called Central Bank Digital Currencies, a New Tool for Government Control, ? It came off the page of the Federalist Society, NLC 2022. It's about an hour and a half long, but they talk about everything and all the points that I'm making as well. All right, they talk about how central bank and digital currency is going to be used as a weapon against the people. All right. They try to bring in, the examples that, even China with the stablecoin society they made, that it is actually based off a social credit system. So that's the word. Those are the things. Ping, ping, ping. Why would they include a social credit system with the financial system? What does behavior have to do with money? Okay. See, these are the policies. Because even this one cracker on the panel meeting said, Randall looked like a pedophile, man. He made the comment, usually with things like this, like the CBDC, they come attached with things, which is true. They don't tell you that, or they tell you in a double speak, in a very snake way, subtile, which is what Esau is. He's a subtile beast. They tell you, and with words that you can't really understand, that sound alluring to you, though, like, okay, that is, okay, you know what? I see it. I see it now. I see why the government needs to be included. Makes sense. You got me there, Randall. But he said, again, they usually come attached with something. They're not telling you that the government's going to have full control. That once the government, because the government, I believe, I think it controls the central banks, if I'm not mistaken. Right. Central banking, yeah, the whole answer is right there. Central banking digital currency. The government has control over the central banks. Full control. All right. But with digital currency, man, they're trying to find a way with these policies, these cunning words and ways to give the government the power to oversee this currency. Okay. And right now it's been, the government hasn't actually really invaded as much as they're going to, but you see like with celebrities, all right, with certain talk show hosts, speakers, or people that come onto a show to be interviewed, when they make certain claims, you notice something happens to them, or their assets are frozen, their deals are taken away. Look at Kanye, man. Look at Kyrie, Kanye and Kyrie. All right, Kanye lost a big portion of his shares to Adidas. I think it was like I think he had like 3 point something billion to that contract or whatever. Okay, but again, these are just precursor events. Okay, because it's ultimately leading up. All right, let me go back and read this in Daniel. Salakia. Daniel 8:25, and through his policy, through his cunningness, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands. Now, craft goes into basically creating something, all right? Which, what is Esau creating? Devices, crafty schemes and tricks. And ultimately, it's all going to lead to Revelation 13 and 16, where he caused it all, meaning he's programming you, all right, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive, all right, so he's causing you to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. And I've been making, comments about this. For some reason, this is the only technology in the world that requires you to insert it into your body. Okay? It's a little odd. It should raise some questions. I get it. Convenience. You'll never lose it. You can't have it hacked. Cool. But why? Why do you have to get to that excessiveness? Why can't you, why can't it be, a wristband, which they did that, right? With the C to the O to the V to the I to the D, 19 lockdowns. The ones who had been stabbed and jabbed, eventually ended up getting these smart bracelets or whatever. It would you could scan it because it would let you know, okay, they got the first of 1 to 2. All right. But why couldn't it just stay there? What need do you have where you need to put it in your goddamn body, man? It makes no sense. So it says to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead, and that no man might buy or sell except he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay? So unless you get this new reform, all right, which it started out where they're trying to tie the RFID to your health. All right, you can have your records on there, but it's going to have everything else. All right, bro, has been bringing out every commercial and meeting that Esau has had or made that goes into the RFID, the micro, the microbio very chip. All right, these companies that are making these things, IBM, Selectron, all right, Flextronics. I know of those companies because my father actually works there. All right. That's why I know about it. I did my research. Because IBM, I think, is like a, what do you call it? Like a brother company or whatever you call it to Flextronics and Selectron. They work together. All right. But all these companies, starting about faster connection. All right. Which the fiber optics was a thing of gradualism. Okay. But you see how they're working the angle. America is financially behind in evolution. That's what they made complaints about. They say we're behind China, which we're always talking about how it's about power, right? Who has the upper hand? That's why Esau killed off all these other leaders and whatnot. Saddam. I was just reading about that. Saddam Hussein, man, that had nothing to do with him holding, nuclear weapons, or whatever it is. It had nothing to do with that. Okay, Gaddafi had nothing to do with him being a fucking terrorist, or I can't remember what they were saying he was doing, man. But the propaganda that they put on him was that he was the whole thing where they killed the two U.S. embassy officials over there and everything. And no, man, it was because they were trying to convert back to the original standard of commodity, man, which was gold. All right. Same thing with Kennedy. He was trying to revert back to gold. Okay, because gold can't be back. Gold's value never changes. And I thought it was interesting how the reason why it doesn't. The reason why gold can never be the value will never change. Well, it'll go up. It can only go up. It can't go down. My bad. But the reason why it will never go down in value is because you cannot duplicate gold. You can't just print gold. Okay? That's crazy. It's the technology Esau has, but he can't duplicate or replicate gold. That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. That's what you get. But anyways, all these things, man, once America found out a man or a nation was trying to revert back to gold, he'd go over there, start war, kill him off, kill the one he was looking for, Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, okay? But it's been known that America is behind in the financial game, all right? The dollar has been shit for the longest time. So this was, a brother made out the comment about the Federal Reserve. It was never meant for longevity. It was never meant to sustain forever. So again, going back to gradualism, okay? And I'm gonna read that word again so you keep remembering that understanding. Gradualism is a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. And that gradual reform is through the progressing moderated measures. Okay, it's slowly happening. The idea back in 1910 in Jekyll Island to create the Federal Reserve, was it not created? This man in the panel meeting that I had bros watch, it said, the man said, today you got this saying, what's the difference between a conspiracy, a man who brings a conspiracy? And he said about 3 months. This is no hot air topics or ideas anymore, man. These are always things that Esau always had intended to do. All right, these secret societies that they formed to gain control over the world, because that's really what it's about: ultimate control, absolute control. All right, that's why they're including a social credit system. So, and just go online. You can research it real easily, man. Type up social credit system, and then you can scroll down on Wikipedia, and it will go into rewards and punishments. And it will tell you they'll limit your access to certain things. You can't go to sports events. You can't, you got travel bans. They're going to limit how much you eat, which even in that panel meeting about using CBDC for government control, he said, do you really want, these men that, weaponize the FBI, the IRS, the CIA, that they promise to overlook and oversee and protect, but ultimately they weaponize these things? Do you really want those same men who will have no qualms about, watching, what you're buying, looking at how many burgers you eat a week, basically just watching your every move? And then when you go into the RFID C-HIP, the microchip, it has a GPS ping signal. All right. So once you put it in you start pinging like a sonar. All right. So, and then again, you can't forget, this same device is going to have the explosive power of a hand grenade. For what? See, man, you got to always ask yourself these questions, man. Like, why? Why is it necessary? If it's a choice, all right, to accept this new technology that you're going to bring in, if it's truly a choice, I'm not going to, maybe in one day I'll get it. Okay, well, you're fine. Take your time. You don't have to, retrobate, you don't have to get it right now, but hey, we'll come back in 20 years, see if you want it, If it was really a choice, why would they create it to kill you? It could blow up on your ass. All right. You have movies like Mission Impossible 3. All right. When they rescued that woman from the very beginning of the movie, they're rescuing a woman out of this warehouse, and she starts trying to reveal the truth to Tom Cruise, whatever was going on in the movie. And a signal goes off in her head where she's screaming, and it's and they show you it's a fucking RFID microchip, and then it blows up in her brain. Her eyes go up and down. You know, like, man, if this is really about having a choice to, you know, be on board with the new trend and fashion and all that, why is it going to be made mandatory? Okay, why are they going to try to kill you or detain you, separate you? Because remember, going back to Revelation 13 and 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. All right, which the beast is the system. All right, you got these other allying nations that help push America and its policies, its laws, its image. Okay, it says, which is NATO, the EU, or the EU and NATO. Okay. It says that, and he had power to give life unto the image, because it's speaking, it's prospering, just like we went back to the Daniel 8. It's prospering and it's progressing. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That word killed goes into being separate. Okay, it goes into being separated. So, like I said, why, if this is a choice, goddamn, all the way down here, if this is a choice, why are they going to do that to you? Why are they going to take you out of your house, or, you know, put you in a or put you in a position where you're going to be defamed for it? All right, you're going to be shamed. Okay, you know, they're going to put you on TV. Okay, which they had it over there in China. I think there was like, oh man, how many was it? I think it was like 600,000 people were blacklisted as untrustworthy. All right, because it was all based on this. Because China has their own digital currency already, and it's backed by I think it's through the stable coin. It's either backed or is a stable coin. But there was already 600,000 people that were deemed untrustworthy over there, and it said that their public records were deliberately posted online and on the trains and all that. See, you know, and one thing that matters to people the most is their ego. So, you know, just like you see on the movies, man, when one of the agents goes rogue, you know, right? Then they put him up on the news, like, if you've seen this man, and then people be looking at him like, that's how they're gonna be looking at us, man. If we don't take the C-hip, we're gonna be looked at as terrorists. All right, we're gonna be looked at as, you know, a brother posted a video yesterday, you know, about Dr. Fauci came up to this Jake's house, and they said this is where Dr. Fauci's job ended. You know, they came to his house, man, but Jake was all over TV, man. You know, they were trying to get him to take the stabbing jab, and then the brother came out with information, you know, and if he's the truth or not. But, you know, I'm not going to make a judgment, but he had information, all right? But he looked crazy, all right? You know, they're going to be looking at us, man, because we're going to be separated from society. This device is going to really, you know, close all those seals up of, you know, well, he still has access to cash, so he can go to the convenience store, buy a Snicker bar. They're going to do away all with cash, man, in the end. That's what CBDC is about. All right, doing away with cash, because that system was flawed and crappy. Now we got a new system that's backed, has, you know, more, how do you know the words? You know, fortified ways from hacking, losing value, just, you know, but they're going to tie it and tether it to the behavior. There's not going to be a lot of, there's not going to be much crime, because nobody's going to want to get cut off. Because you get in one little altercation, you eating a sandwich at a subway station, okay, you know, and a cop come to you and tell you to put your sandwich up, and you don't. He can have the access to turn off your fucking chip. You know, like, and then what? You're screwed. And then you have no choice but to go into the tank to serve out the time for the ticket or misdemeanor or whatever. It's going to be, a lot of people are going to be seeing what's, you know, when the police force comes in, all right, that, you know, people are going to be getting snatched up for the simplest, stupidest shit. Hey, man, is that a cigarette? Go to jail. You eating where it says don't eat? Go to jail. You sitting at the park? Go to jail. People are going to be getting snatched up, and that's what you saw with this whole the precursor event of the C to the VID. All right, that's what you saw over there in France or Sweden. These women, or a woman was trying to get into a market, a grocery store, and she was getting pushed out, forced out, and everything, all because she didn't have her papers or something like that. Things are going to start getting worse, man, and it's ultimately all going to help contribute to just pushing in this new system. Well, look, there's been all these altercations, these fights. You know, your check is not working anymore. You know, this and that. We have all this backed up for you already. If you just want to take this, you can go about your business, go to the bank, get your money, and then go. All right. But these have already been intentions and plans already put into motion. Because like I was using Jekyll Island as an example, it happened in 1910 where they created the Federal Reserve. Or in 1910, the meeting happened, but they created the Federal Reserve out from that meeting. And it wasn't admitted openly until 1930 that, yes, it indeed occurred at that time. Claims about it were denied up until about, the late 20s, early in the 1930s. Same thing you got going on here, man. We've been telling you for years, decades, that this new form of technology coming through a micro CHIP is going to be the end game. All right. And the CBDC is a ramping up event to get us there. Okay. So, yeah, man, gradualism is a thing. All right. It's happening slowly. You've seen it. You go to your regular average fucking Walmart, Home Depot. They're trying to move everything to smart technology. Okay. And also making a point, we live in a technocracy, which the government is officially, basically ruled by experts. Well, you've been seeing Bill Gates coming on a lot, which has nothing to fucking do with policies and politics and all that. Yet this man said, you know what we need to do to contain this VI to the R to the U to the mega S. I'm trying to, not get caught up, man, in the algorithm. We got to create a device that can track everybody who's taking or not taking it. Like, man, hey, man, just watch. That's why the scriptures say, Yahweh Shai, to get a little, keep it spiritual, man. Yahweh Shai said, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. Just watch, man, how it unfolds. Because you can see it. It's clear and evident, man, what they're leaning towards right now. All right? And don't forget Revelation 12, man, or is it 13 and 12? Let me get it. Salakia. Let me try that. Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, all right, the deceiver, the liar, okay, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. See, Esau knows he has a short time, so he's working these things a lot quicker now. You even had that Operation Warp Speed, okay, which Biden was trying to tie it to the getting everybody but they've been in that operation for a minute, but it's all nearing to the last horn of anger, which is this RFID. This is because Esau wants control and he wants your goddamn gratitude. All right, so. Hey, at the end of the day, gradualism is a thing, man, and it's been happening underneath your nose, whether you like it or not. Time will tell, all right? And like I just quoted out of the book of Mark, watch. All right, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So with that, Lord willing, I hit the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Only. All right, peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh Shem Shai, which retain and hold their conduct, composure, and integrity. Hey, Yahweh Shem Shai Brakathom, Kwame Sha'ala Shalom.